Hello, guys. Once again, welcome to Farming in Africa. And as you guys are aware, last week we released a video whereby we visited Somanya and spoke to Eric, who is doing some amazing things in Ghana in the real estate industry. Moved all the way from the US years ago and now has found his passion and dream and living the life in Ghana. It was an amazing experience, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. But we're taking that conversation to the next step by speaking to someone who is a guru in the real estate industry and have been doing a lot of great work exposing people in the diaspora, even we Ghanaians, to what is happening in the real estate industry in Ghana in terms of pricing, quality, location, and so many more. Today I have with me here Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine.
Hi, Fred. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good to have you here.
Same. I'm very happy to be here as well.
Good.
It's interesting you called me a guru. I don't know about that.
I mean, you guys, content creators might not or might always probably underestimate the impact they have in people's life, right? But to me, if you're able to help somebody make a right decision in acquiring a home, acquiring a property in Ghana without being scammed and getting the right property for what he needs, to you, you're a savior to him. You might post a video and probably not even do very well, but you change somebody's life and you save them. So I think that's why the word guru is coming from. So
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So usually here we talk about farming.
Okay.
But a lot of our followers want to purchase land. Again, they also want to live somewhere. So I think a lot of them do follow you and are also interested in the real estate community, especially with what Eric and his team is doing, which is embedding it with farming as well and the whole sustainability. So before we go into that discussion and why you have made such a big move into there, so stay tuned if you want to know what she's been doing with Eric. But before we go in there, would you mind introducing yourself? Who are you?
Sure. So my name is Jasmine Ama.
Jasmine Ama.
I relocated from Australia to Ghana about 3 years ago, and I started doing content creation full-time about 3 years ago as well. So it was mainly lifestyle content that I used to do, and then I kind of made my way into real estate a little bit. So
Wait, you used to do what?
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle,
yes,
okay.
I still do a little bit of it. So I still do very casual day in the life, that type of videos. When I travel, I share those type of things. I try to give people a real glimpse into what it's like living here. You know what I mean? I try to present Ghana as it is to people through my videos. So through that, I moved into real estate. I've been doing a little more of that now. And I live here full time now. I've traveled a couple of times since being here, but I love it. So it's good.
Wow, that's amazing. And I know the likes of Wodemaya and everybody is really telling the African story in a way that it's not being told. And I remember the first time I had an Instagram account, my hashtag was told by an African, because I was like, the media is not going to tell our story.
That's right.
And it's all about branding.
That's
right. How well you brand your country will attract people in there. So good job.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you made the move. How is it going being in Ghana?
I love it. I love it so much.
Good.
Like, I don't want to live anywhere. At the moment anyways. I love it. It's
good.
It comes with its ups and downs, but the good outweighs the bad. So I really love living here. I think there's so much opportunity, and just letting people know the reality of being here inspires more people to come and stuff like that. It's great.
Good.
I can't complain.
Good. Great to have you. And today I want to dive into why you made the big decision. But before that, tell me about how you even got to know about Eric and how you got all involved.
Sure. So as I said, I always did lifestyle content. So there's a lot of people in the diaspora that were interested in watching my videos, and they're like, oh, is that what Ghana looks like? I remember I interviewed this lady who had moved from the US to Ghana with her husband. They've just retired not too long ago. And when she came, she said she went to the grocery store and she saw like oranges and they were green. And she was confused because like, that's not what oranges look like over in the West, you know what I mean? Because they're all GMO and stuff, so it's actually the color orange, you know. So little things like that, being able to educate people and, you know, so they know what organic things look like, you know, and when they come to Ghana and they see what I've been sharing, it kind of makes sense. Anyway, so I've been doing those lifestyle contents for a while, and I kind of moved into real estate because people kept asking me, oh, I want to come live in Ghana. Where can I buy land? Where can I buy a house? So then people started reaching out to me. People that were trying to sell their homes were also starting to reach out to me. And then Eric, who had been a long-time follower of mine, because I had seen his comments under my videos several times prior to him reaching out to me. And then he reached out to me saying, hey, we're developing a sustainable community in Somanya. He spoke to me about the project that he worked on for himself earlier on and how that led into this. Because a lot of people were asking him.
Which is very inspirational.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
Can you tell us a little bit about what he did?
So he built when he first moved here, he built a sustainable home. I forget the name of the area, but it's sort of on the way to Somanya.
Yes, that's what you said.
So he built a sustainable home with solar panels. He had his own water. He literally was self-sustainable. He was growing his own food. He had all of that.
On a 5 acre.
Exactly. And that's what he wanted. Like, that's the kind of life he wanted to live when he moved here. So that's what he was able to put together. And, you know, I think even when you live in Ghana, being able to build your own home, it's not a joke. So if you come from overseas with no understanding of how Ghana works and things like that, and you're able to do that, that's like very impressive. So when he told me, I was like, wow, like, I don't know how you were able to do that. You know, and where he was is like, it's like in the middle of nowhere as well. So even transporting stuff, and you have to be like a very disciplined, organized person to be able to do that. So so then he said a lot of people were like, oh, I want the same thing, can you build one for me? And then that's how the whole thing translated into Migrating Cultures Community. So then he spoke to me about what they were trying to do, the sustainable farm that they wanted to have, the kind of buildings that they were trying to put together, and the idea of the community. It was very well thought out, you know, because even when you go to other gated communities and things like that, it's very what's the word? I feel like they all look the same.
Like urban.
Very urban, and they all look the same. There's no... It's like, oh, this person did this way, so I'm going to do it that way too. It's not like where Eric's ones, there's a lot of cul-de-sacs, which is like those, I don't know what else you call them. Like the what, you know, when the road ends and there's like a U-turn? So the homes are like
around
in a U shape. Yes.
That's what a community is.
Exactly. Exactly. So he had really thought the whole thing out, and I felt like that was so impressive. So all this while, I wasn't even thinking about buying anything there, but it was more like, wow, like, who's this guy who wants to sell homes, who's really thinking so much about what he's putting together. You could tell it wasn't so much about just selling and making some money.
I think
something he was passionate about.
I was very impressed too when I got there, with the way, as you rightly said, he has thought through, because most real estate people here, I think the competition is around architecture. Who can design the most fanciest house, right? Because of course Ghana is a developing country, so we are chasing the fanciness, right? The status, right? And then leaving the quality life behind, and that's what I feel like he's bringing back. So being able to have that sustainability around it, that community centered, even the way the houses are built. I mean, I was very impressed, and so we both were impressed, but you did something I couldn't do. So tell us, what did you do then?
I think another reason why I want to live here, and I've lived here, is I think we have a good sense of community. I think people really get to know each other. It's easy to be in a group of people where you feel well supported. You know what I mean? Even if you're not that close to them. And I feel like unfortunately, we're starting to lose that a little bit in Ghana, even especially in the gated communities, even because they're all quite expensive. So generally, it's a certain class of people that live there. So they're generally too busy to even get to know each other and stuff like that. So that really stood out to me at Eric's place because of the whole idea of building a community and getting to know each other, and having the fruit forest as well. I was like, that's amazing. And the edible garden as well, where all the plants in your garden were things you could use, either medicinal or you could eat it. I was like, oh, okay. And then when we toured the place as well, I noticed the homes were so cool as well because of the kind of material used in building. Like even the windows have been made in such a way that there's a lot of air and light coming in, so less electricity, solar panels. The finishings were good, like hardwood, granite tops. I'm like, and I had been to all these other places, but it didn't have that. Even when it looks prettier on the outside, it doesn't look like that on the inside. So I was like, and then he was doing a promo as well. I was like, can this get any better? You know, so I just said, like, even though currently I don't really want to live off grid because of my work and stuff like that, but this is such a good deal.
It's a getaway.
And it could be a getaway, it could be an Airbnb, it could be something that you just buy and rent out to somebody else for now until you're ready to go. It might not be this way all the way through, because you know, with these communities, the more they sell, the more expensive it gets. So if I don't get it now, when am I going to get it? So then that's when I was like,
you made a move.
I was like, let me invest here, because you know,
I think you won't regret it, especially with a promo. You know, I've also been thinking about it a lot. I was telling him I was just purchased a land in Suhum. Right, and I'm trying to build something, but with much focus on farm and have like a huge farm. And I'm not even thinking about selling it, but I just want to be able to drive my family there, you know, on Friday and spend a week there, where I'm also connected to the farm and can teach them. As we're doing commercial farming, we also want to have our own, you know, and expose the kids and everybody to it. And that's what is really pulling me back from making a decision with Eric, because I just made that huge investment, and like I have this idea of how I want, but it's very similar. I think what I'm missing is the community. And but I think he's doing an amazing job. I love the place. You've said everything. The thought behind it, the materials that he's using, security. One thing I love is like there's no even walls. And I grew up in a village where, you know, you walk through people's house to go to access the main street, and you know, and you say hi to people, and everybody sees you, and you smell what you're cooking, and then, you know, that's a community. And as you rightly said, we're missing that. You know, where I live here in Accra is a community place. It's an estate. And you hardly see anyone. And you know,
everyone's just kind of starting to keep to themselves. It never used to be like that, though.
Exactly.
It's slowly changing.
So I'm glad people, you know, like Eric are taking that move. Mostly we might think that things like this belongs to just, you know, African American, you know, who wants to move, but what about our own people?
I don't think it belongs to just African Americans. I just think at the moment there's an interest. You know, there's a lot of people in the diaspora, especially with the year of return. It really exposed a lot of people to Ghana. So, and there's a lot of Americans who have always wanted to reconnect with Africa in some way as well. So it's kind of making sense for them at the moment. But I don't think it's only for them. I think it's for Ghanaians as well. But I think in Ghana, a lot of people are still interested in the Western style of things. People that were born in Ghana and have lived here for a long time. You know, I think once you live a different lifestyle where you live in the West and you're exposed to that, then you want to come back to the roots. You know what I mean? But if you haven't experienced that yet, it is very easy to want that. And I think that's why a lot of Ghanaians generally speaking, don't really care too much about wanting to live sustainably or living in the woods, or you know, it's like I'd rather live in this city in East Legon than go live in the forest somewhere, you know. So
but we have to get back to that root.
We do,
because if those that have been exposed to it all their life are coming back to it, why are we rushing there to end up and come back.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
Like, don't go.
But experience is the best teacher, right? If you
Right.
just told them not to go, they're probably not going to be interested in that.
All right, guys watching us, I know a lot of Ghanaians do watch this channel, and even those of you in Ghana, right? Like, contact Eric and see if you can get yourself a house. Very, very affordable, as you guys heard in the video. And even if not, like, I want to encourage you, we can all be in Accra. Let's look at places around Ebri, around Somanya, Suhum, Pram Pram, and enjoy life, a better life. So let me ask you this. So you've made a purchase. You talked about not probably moving there now, but when is your house going to be ready?
So it's going to be ready in 24 months.
Okay,
so
in 24 months.
Years.
In 2 years,
so
okay.
It's been maybe 2 months or so since then. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So has anything been done, foundation, or is it the plot that has been allocated?
Yeah, the plot has been allocated and they've already started building.
Nice.
Yeah, they've already
so how
started
often do you intend to go there to see progress?
Not that often. Not that often at the moment because of my schedule and stuff. And I have a fairly good relationship with Eric, so
that's good.
He will keep me updated on things and stuff like that. But I'm looking forward, because I'm not planning to live there yet. I guess that's why I'm a bit laid back about it.
Is it your first house?
No.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought it was your first house because then the excitement and everything, wanting to be there. So let's talk about trust. So you met Eric, you visited, and you made a decision. Most people don't have that opportunity to visit, to get to know him, and they're watching us. They're like, should we trust this guy? I mean, I know you and our reputation is on the line now talking about him.
I know. If we vouch for him and he does something wrong, then we're in trouble.
But tell us, what made you so comfortable in making that deal with him?
I think there's something about energy first off.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, you just have a vibe, that, oh, this person seems a bit off, or this person is, and he didn't give me any of that. He just seemed like a genuine person who really wanted to put something together to bring his own people back home and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing. Yeah. Second thing was like the progress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I visited the sites maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, and the first time I did a video with him, that was less than a year ago. And that time they literally just had the model home and then the foundation for another house, and that was it. And I went back 2-3 weeks ago and there was like 12. And I'm just like, what? There's been so much progress, you know what I mean? And people that have paid and bought from him have all come and see that there's progress. He's actually putting these buildings together. Like, he's doing so much. So I think there's evidence that he's actually doing what he's, because in the beginning I was like, so people will pay this amount and it'll be 3 years before they get their house. You know what I mean? People might not feel very comfortable with that, but now you can literally go and you can see that, oh, okay, there's progress. When I came, there was no gate. Now they're putting together the gate. The wall, when the first time I went, the roads were not even, like, it was proper dirt, muddy road. Now it's all like evened out, so there's a lot of progress, and he's actually doing exactly what he said he would. And I feel like the way he's open about things as well. So when I was interviewing him, he was telling me, okay, so these are the options. You either get dark wood or light wood. With the tops, this is what's available right now. That's what's affordable. So that's what you're going to get. So you know what you're getting. You know what to expect. He doesn't overpromise and then give you something else. You know what I mean? So I just trusted him based on energy and then from what I've seen as well.
No, that's great, because I was there maybe a month ago, and right there we actually had a customer come from the US, a couple who were making a decision to purchase, and they drove all the way there and they were loving it. So I was like, oh wow, I think he's found a model that really works, and if people will pay attention and let go a little bit about the fanciness and think more about sustainability, organic living, he said something about where your food is grown should be very close to you, you know, and I really love that. And I'm looking forward to doing a lot with him on the agricultural sector, even with livestock, making sure that, you know, the kind of meat that we produce there, what we feed them and all that. So yeah, I think it's a good thing, and people are really getting into it. The more I talk about it, the more I ask myself why.
I mean, it's never too late. Tell him to hold one for you, and then just in case you change your mind,
yes,
then you can,
yes. And I think, Eric, we need to strike something. I'll be your farm manager. Take care of all the livestock and have my house very close there, because I want to be part of this community. Coming from all different backgrounds, and young or elder, and all living together. I think it will be great. I love water, so I saw what he's doing with the canals, and and I was like, I asked, is that no? It's like he's building it, so I think that's gonna be very, very beautiful. All right, guys. What would you have to say to people that are watching us and I'm like, okay, these guys are speaking about this. What do I do? What will be your message to them? What have the experiences you make the commitment be that you can tell our viewers?
Well, I think if you're considering living here at a point in time, this is definitely something to consider. I think the price range, especially in this current real estate climate, I think homes are super expensive.
Yes.
So if you're going to have all that, you're going to be able to live in a community that's sustainable. Eric is also going to be living in the community. So if you have any issues, just go knock on his door. You know what I mean? It doesn't get any better than that. So I mean, I think it's a good time to buy into Ghana now anyway. Like if you don't plan on living here even, if you don't buy it now, the prices are just going higher and higher. It's like every day is changing. So if you want to make an investment, now is a good time to consider it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And we're going to put Eric's bio and everything you need in the description. Please contact him directly. He's an amazing guy. I met him for the first time, and as you said, the energy, very smart guy, has a lot of options, but I decided to do this. I love it. And I know most of you are scared and skeptical about buying lands in Ghana, getting duped, getting scammed, and so on. I think that is his goal, to help make that transition very smooth. It's already a big decision for you to move, so if you can have that step being taken care of for you, that will be, a very relaxing transition, hopefully. And to the Ghanaians also out there, he is not Ghanaian, but he is Ghanaian now, right? And he's paving the way. If I have the opportunity, will probably do the same, but he's done it, and therefore I think it doesn't matter whether you're from Africa, you're from Ghana, or wherever you are. I think get in touch with him, get your home for yourself, especially if you want to just come with your family and visit and go back. Enjoy it, and I think you will not regret it. As we both have said, we do trust him, and we think that what he's doing requires us to also push and support him as well. So hopefully you see Jasmine and myself being neighbors someday.
You never know. Hey,
that means more interviews and more content for everyone.
Absolutely.
Jasmine, let's talk to people about your channel as we wrap up. Sure. If people want to learn more about what you do, how do they find you on YouTube and stuff?
Okay, so my channel is Jasmine Ama. So Jasmine Ama, just my name. If you search on YouTube, I'm there. I'm on Instagram as well. It's Jasmine with a double E, Ama. And that's it. So come find me. I do lifestyle content, real estate content.
Awesome, Jasmine. It was a pleasure having you here, and really we hope to see you again.
I'm sure you'll see me again, Fred.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear